Dear parishioners and friends, for God so loved the world. On the Feast of the Holy Trinity, it's a time to reflect on the incredible love of God. In fact, we simply say, God is love. In the Trinity, we see the mystery of God as connection, communion, relationship. We human beings, created in the image and likeness of God, are called to live our lives connected to all of creation in communion with the entire human family and in relationship with the living God. In my homily for this Sunday, found on our website, I share some of the language of St. Catherine of Siena in her wonder and amazement at the God revealed in Jesus. Flame and fire of love, O unimaginable love, O mad lover, blazing love. Take some time, especially in silence, to enter into the mystery of love, who is the Holy Trinity. But that mystery of God is not some abstract dogma. It practically calls us to live in harmony with all of creation and with our fellow human beings. Today I have invited a guest to join me, so you're not getting tired of me all the time. It's one of our parishioners, Teresa Hartnett. Teresa is the director of the Diocese of Hamilton Family Ministry Office. And I've asked her just to share some thoughts and suggestions to all of us about living together during this COVID lockdown. So I invite Teresa at this time.
Well, hello to everyone. Although I can't see you right now, I know some of you are going to be listening, and it's nice to be back in touch with everyone. It's been a while since we've been together. At the start of the mandatory distancing and home regulations, I think we were all, for the pandemic, we were kind of all somehow feeling connected. We were fighting this virus. We were going to stop the spread, and we felt good about that. But then we did our thing by stocking up, by learning how to use Facebook and Zoom. Some people already knew how to use it, but got into using it more, and we felt good. We were going to stay connected that way. We were, some of us, myself included, even a little thankful that we had a little more time at home, a little more time to relax, maybe a little longer time to ourselves than we normally would have. But that was several weeks ago, in fact, some months ago now, and things look like they're going to be another few weeks, maybe months. We don't know how long. And so we're starting to get a little bit unhappy with our sense of having to be at home, a little bit weary of all that's happening. And so this alone time is not as good now as we thought it was at the beginning. For families, the ability to partake in activities outside the home has been limited. And so because of that, we may feel a little bit restricted. And at this point, everyone's patience is wearing thin, although nicer weather is coming, which will help a little bit. It's a normal human response to stress, to feel this way, to get anxious, to get a little irritated, all those kinds of things. Some people are feeling a little guilty about that. I say don't. That is making you a normal person at this time. And so family well-being are the words I hear so often these days when I'm on webinars and articles and things I get through my office, diocesan email. And the reason people are talking about family well-being so much is that we know that if one person in the family is not doing well, and that doesn't mean they're terribly sick or any of those issues, just having a bad day, the rest of the family is impacted. So everyone's looking at how are we dealing with this situation. And so we try to find ways that will help us cope. So I'm going to touch on three little areas today. In no way is this an exhaustive list. You're probably seeing all kinds of stuff on the internet and reading all kinds of things yourself, but maybe there'll be a little bit of food for the journey, if you will, as you're going through this experience. So the first one is I want to talk about your ability and your need to self-regulate. So recognize when you're feeling stress. We feel that tension in our chest. Maybe we're getting more headaches, body aches in the back. Maybe we're feeling our breathing going. Recognize those things and find ways to counteract those feelings. How can you do that? There's many ways, and everyone has to self-regulate themselves. You'll know what works for you, but you can talk to a friend, you can take a nap, you can do something enjoyable, turn off the news and the internet. In fact, many experts are saying now limit yourself to once per day that you listen to the news about the virus, or maybe not even every day, because the news doesn't change that rapidly now. And decide that it's okay for you just to sit and take 5 minutes to yourself, relax in a hot bath. Self-care is good for all of us. It's good for our well-beings, and because it's good for us, it's good for others, because when we feel good, we're better with other people, especially if we're living in the same quarters. The second little point is around physical health, and it's essential to every part of our lives. So 3 little parts in here. First, are you getting enough sleep, or are you getting too much sleep? It might be great that maybe you can take a nap during the day, but because of that, it may be that you're not having good sleep at night. So sometimes it's better not to take that nap so that we get into a deep sleep at night. Are you getting enough physical exercise? We all need to be active in some capacity. Even walking inside the house is a great thing to do. There's lots of online walking courses where someone will lead you through some walking and exercising, things that will relieve our stress. So try some of those things and see if they help you out. Maybe actively outside with your kids, play a game. There's skipping, there's bike riding, there's all kinds of things that we can do. And it doesn't really matter what you do to be active, it's that you are active. If you love gardening, do gardening. Joe, my husband, loves to vacuum. He does it almost every day now. Good for me, good for the house, and good for him because he's active. So a body that moves is a healthy body, no matter your age or weight. So keep active, and that will help your stress levels as well. And the last little piece in there is, are you eating well most of the time? A treat now and then is great for all of us. We all want them to make us feel better. But if you've seen the online statistics, there's a lot of people eating a lot of chips and chocolate and things on this break. So it's important that we not give up good nutrition because we're eating these treats. The body functions better when we have good food in us, and our body is more energetic for that. So try to eat with purpose, and you'll feel your body respond. And the third area that I want to just touch base on is mental health. There is stress in everyone's life right now with the virus and many other things that are going on. Some people have more stress than others. There may be illness, people in nursing homes that you're worried about. And so it's important to find ways to relax, to let the body out of that stress. We can read, play games, whether they're electronic or non-electronic games. We can take part in arts and crafts, which have that creative side of the brain come into being. We could write actual letters on paper and mail them to friends or family or acquaintances. We could scrapbook, we could sort out family photos. The list can go on and on and on to the things that we can do. Whatever you do, it's meant to lift your spirit, not to be difficult. So 2 important little caveats to this idea for mental health. And that is, don't forget that everyone in the household really needs some time to themselves, alone time. So not everything has to be done together, and in fact, not everything should be done together. So taking time alone is important modeling for parents, and it's important for their children as well to have some time on their own and not always have to be with siblings or other family members. And the second is that this piece of relieving your stress is not a competition. It's not a challenge. So if you don't complete what you're doing to relax, that's okay, because that wasn't the intent. The goal of the project was not to complete it, but to enjoy it, to relieve your stress. So you're not alone. If you're alone, at this time, really take some time to reach out and touch base with someone at least every day. Make a phone call, Zoom, FaceTime, whatever you can do, because even once per day, the experts say will make a difference. And if you're living with family, which means you're probably never alone, remember that we need family, but family also has an uncanny ability to push our buttons and to cause us some angst. So take some time when those things happen on different levels of the house. One person stay in, one person go outside. Whatever it is you have to do, make sure that you even call a truce so that the tension is not impacting you negatively. We all are in this together, but we don't need to be together 24/7 when we're living together. And most importantly, I would say don't forget the power of prayer, which allows us to connect with God, who loves us and brings us together and is there with us. And it's also a time to pray together as a family, which is very positive and can unite us together at this time. So we do not know how long this pandemic is going to last. We will find restrictions in our lives for at least another month, maybe longer, but we can be confident with a little bit of planning and thought that we can get through this and that we will get past this and things will be better again.
Thank you, Teresa, very much. I could relate to a lot of what you were saying there today. And both of us, Teresa and myself, would just like to express our prayer to all of you as we strive to live in this moment in a healthy and joyful way. As we approach the Feast of Trinity, Holy Trinity this Sunday, I would like to conclude with a prayer from Saint Catherine of Siena. It's called Love Undefiled. Eternal God, eternal Trinity, you have made the blood of Christ so precious through a sharing in your divine nature. You are a mystery as deep as the sea. The more I search, the more I find. And the more I find, the more I search for you. But I can never be satisfied. What I receive will ever leave me desiring more. When you fill my soul, I have an ever greater hunger, and I grow more famished for your light. I desire above all to see you, the true light, as you really are. Amen. God bless everyone.